Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's Awami League party has won Bangladesh parliamentary elections. The country election commission has announced after the main opposition alliance rejected the violence-marred polls. An Awami League-led coalition on Sunday won 287 of the 298 seats for which results have been declared for, while the main opposition alliance dominated by the Bangladesh Nationalist Party secured just 6 seats. Our party needs 151 seats to form a government. After 2 years of delays, protests and political turmoil, millions of voters cast ballots in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Election officials in Congo are counting ballots and the results are expected in a week's time. 4 people, including a police officer and an electoral officer, was killed as Congo voted. Sunday's vote for new president was also hit by a series of delays due to rains and failure of new electronic voting machines. U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham said that the President Donald Trump is considering making a deal with Democrats in an effort to end a partial government shutdown and accomplish his long-promised border wall. Graham met with Trump for a Sunday lunch to talk strategy, 8 days after Congress failed to renew government funding. Graham also said Republicans would consider passing reform measures that grant temporary work permits to recipients of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals and beneficiaries of the Temporary Protected Status Program, in an effort to sweeten the deal for Democrats who have thus far refused to fund a border wall. Afghanistan's presidential election will be postponed until July 20th as US-led efforts to end the 17-year-old war with the Taliban gather steam. A 3-month delay announced by the Independent Election Commission comes after weeks of speculation that the vote would be put off to create more space for peace talks with Afghanistan's largest militant group. The presidential ballot was originally scheduled for April 20th, which many observers have considered unrealistic given the IEC was still finalizing results of October's shambolic and bloody parliamentary elections. Iraqi Prime Minister Abdul Mahdi hinted at a bigger Iraqi role in fighting Islamic State militants in Syria as US troops withdraw from the country. Speaking at a news conference in Baghdad, Abdul Mahdi said Iraq had concerns that Islamic State activity, emboldened by the US withdrawal, might spill across the border. He said Baghdad sought to move beyond its current arrangement with Syria, under which it launches airstrikes against Islamic State militants in Syrian territory, but did not get into more details. Now, several thousand Bosnians have rallied in support of the man whose quest for the truth about his son's death was turned into a wider movement for justice and rule of law in the Balkan country. The protest on Sunday demanded the ouster of Bosnian Serb Interior Minister and top police officials over the death in March of a 21-year-old David. Now, police initially said it was a suicide, but the young man's family insists he was killed by someone else. Prosecutors opened a homicide investigation that is ongoing.
Dajte im podršku da nas pobiju ovdje, ali svim bi jedan incident napravili.
Now, French resistance fighters Georges Longueur, whose bravery and invention saved hundreds of Jewish children in the World War II, has died at the age of 108. His death was announced by France's Holocaust Memorial Foundation, born in Strasbourg. To a Jewish family, he was captured by the Nazis in 1940 but escaped. One of the methods he used to save children was to take them to the Swiss border, then kick a football over the frontier and get them to chase it. Hundreds of transgender people and other sexual minorities in India's eastern Kolkata city took to the streets protesting against the Transgender Persons Bill 2018 that was passed by the lower house of Indian Parliament earlier this month. Critics say the transgender bill has many problems, including denying the right of people to self-identify their gender. Apart from the Transgender Persons Bill 2018, the protesters also raised their voices against the proposed Surrogacy Regulation Bill 2016 and the Anti-Trafficking Bill. It's the 19th day of the Meghalaya coal mine tragedy, and efforts are in full swing to rescue 15 miners trapped at the 370-foot deep illegal coal mine in East Jaintia Hills district. Yesterday, a team of Indian Navy divers went deep inside the 370-foot mine. However, the bone-chilling water and depth of the rat hole made the rescue operations difficult. A team is expected to dive deeper today with more sophisticated equipments. Severe weather crippled normal life and brought it to a standstill in various parts of India as several cities witnessed poor visibility due to dense fog, resulting in delayed train and air traffic. The cold wave has not only affected the northern part of India but also reached the western part of the country. Meanwhile, in the national capital of New Delhi, the homeless are taking shelter in various shelters to protect themselves from the harsh cold weather. As sharp temperatures drop accompanied by snow and rain in Greece has prompted municipal authorities in Athens to open public shelters downtown for the city's homeless to keep warm. Amid a sudden drop in temperatures, roads in the mountains of northern Athens are covered with a thick layer of white snow. While the move was generally approved by the public, Athens residents say that the government should go a step further and establish permanent rest shelters to provide those in need with a more stable environment. Heavy snow accompanied by sharp drops in temperature have chilled many areas across east central and southwest China since Saturday. A heavy snowfall hit northwestern part of East China. The thickness of snow reached 10 centimeters in some parts, with a thick layer of ice forming over roads. The local Met Authority issued a blue alert for snowstorm and a yellow alert for icing roads. The local government deployed nearly 3,500 workers and 968 snow sweepers to clear the roads. Brazil is about to experience its moment of truth with its new president, Jair Bolsonaro, who takes power on Tuesday as an untested leader, vowing to crack down on crime and corruption and ideological opposition to the left. The 63-year-old former paratrooper, along an obscure politician, won electoral legitimacy with a comfortable win in October.
Perante o Congresso Nacional, foram solenemente empossados nos cargos de
Hundreds of dogs and their owners took part in Madrid's traditional dog walk to raise awareness about abandoned animals and to promote their adoption. Although the event is set up as a race, organizers say there were no winners, timings or medals. The main goal is for people to have a good time walking or running with the dogs and enjoying the festive spirit ahead of the new year. Officials in charge of New York City's annual New Year's Eve celebrations in Times Square tested the ball drop ahead of Monday night celebrations. Every year, a crystal ball slides down a pole above Times Square during the countdown to the new year. According to the organizers, this year's ball contains almost 3,000 crystal triangles, weighing almost 1,200 pounds. The ball is backlit with LED lights that are capable of producing a number of colors and patterns.